Welcome to Just Koryzma, episode 32. I'm your host, Brady Koryzma, and joining me today is Kyle Balla. How you doing, buddy?
Good, how are yourself?
Pretty good. What an amazing last name. Like, you're just a straight up Balla.
It's nothing compared to yours, though.
I don't know. They're both pretty good.
Yeah, exactly.
Above par, I'd say. So, Kyle, he works in the concrete industry, but before that he was up in Alberta doing some insulating, and he's gone to school for some heavy-duty machinery operating. So I probably worded that way wrong, but it's fine.
It was close enough.
Close enough, yeah. So I'm gonna talk about that. So why did you choose heavy machinery?
Well, in high school we had the CTC program.
Yep.
And they help kids find a trades path to take. And
For sure.
I ended up picking that one just because it interested me at the time.
Okay.
Yeah, and then that was only about 3 months, but that wasn't really for me.
Oh yeah,
That
fair
when I was
enough.
done, yeah.
I mean, at least got to try it, and you're like, well, it didn't, because I mean, the CDC program is nice because it doesn't cost you anything.
Yeah,
At the
exactly.
time, right? Like,
Yeah, they paid for your school.
yeah. So that's cool. I mean, so yeah, did you have at least a favorite machine to operate on?
Yeah, I've had a little bit of experience with bobcats and stuff, just because my dad does a lot of construction stuff.
Yeah.
But my favorite thing is probably the excavator.
That's
It's pretty sick.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, and then so you didn't really find did you look for much work, or did you kind of, since it didn't really interest you, you kind of just tried to find something different?
Yeah, since it didn't really interest me, I just I did find a couple things, but I didn't really pursue them just because it wasn't really for me at the time. I didn't think it was where I wanted to go with my career path.
Yeah. Okay, so then that led you to Alberta.
Yeah.
So why did you end up just deciding to go out there?
It was just kind of the next opportunity. I was looking at things for heavy equipment operating, and then it's hard to get into that, like I was saying before, unless you're unless you know somebody,
Right.
or unless you want to start at the very bottom. And
Yeah.
I wasn't really interested in that. And my dad has a cousin who's pretty high up he was pretty high up in one of the companies there when I first went out there. So he had a job and he needed some guys, and he wanted to take me and my brother on.
Okay.
So we ended up going out to Edmonton, moving out there, me and my brother, and starting this job. So, and then started off a little bit higher than we probably should have. So
Hey,
that was nice.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What kind of work was it out there? Was it the insulating?
Yeah, it was insulating, yeah.
So what was that like? I mean, is it a pretty straightforward kind of gig, or?
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. You definitely gotta, it's not like we start at the top.
Yeah.
We still have to learn everything, and I'm still, if I went back there now, I still wouldn't say I'm at the top. I'm maybe a good third year level.
Okay.
So I haven't learned everything, but it was good. It was a big change because we started in the middle of winter too. So
Okay.
that was cold.
That was cold as fuck, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. I mean, it must have been a huge, I mean, you've been to Edmonton stuff before, so you kind of had an idea of the temperature change, but
Yeah.
did you get used to it pretty quick from Nanaimo?
Ooh, not really.
No?
probably had to wear 5 layers of clothes.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Even then I was still cold.
Fair enough, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah.
Just freezing.
So what was your favorite part about the job then, since you seem to like it for a while, so?
Yeah, my favorite part about the job is you learn a lot on your own basically. You learn what you can do and what you can't do as far as how to insulate the pipes and stuff.
Okay.
It's a lot of, I don't know, figuring it out on your own, making things work, and sometimes you run into problems where you can't do it the right way or the proper way or by code.
Yeah.
So you gotta figure out how to do it the best way possible basically.
Okay.
And I don't know, it's one of those things you've learned by yourself. People learn to trust you and use your best judgment, right?
For sure.
So
Okay.
yeah, I like that about it, that's for sure.
Nice. Was there anything that really pissed you off, or just frustrated you the most?
I think the most frustrating thing about Alberta is the fact that you work really hard for, I don't know, just 2 or 3 or maybe 6 months, but then you gotta wait a couple months for the next job to come up.
Right.
And it's the same thing again. You work really hard, 24/7 almost for a few months, then you gotta wait again. So that's kind of why I'm not there now.
Because the breaks in between jobs was just too long.
Yeah, exactly. Or when I was in Grand Prairie for 6 months there, I worked at 4 different companies in 6 months, and that's like, you got to take the time to find the job, or you get laid off and you're waiting for 2 weeks to find something.
Yeah.
And you have a lot of worry too, right? Like when you have bills to pay and stuff.
Well, that's just it, right?
Yeah.
I can't imagine it's very cheap out there.
No, I mean, like, in some ways it's a little bit cheaper. Like rents.
Gas.
Yeah, gas. Rent's a little bit cheaper in Grand Prairie, but then food and alcohol and stuff like that's a little bit more expensive.
For sure.
But you're making a lot more when you're out there. So in some ways you're winning, in some ways you're not. But I think it evens out, like, compared to here.
Yeah, for sure, right? I mean, like, I guess it's just kind of like anywhere. Like, their food prices cost are probably similar to ours comparatively to competitive wages or whatever. Like.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, it just depends on where you're working and what you're doing.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, so you did that for, what, a couple of years, the insulating?
Yeah, I did. I think I insulated right after high school for about 3 solid years, I'd say. I took maybe 6 months off at one point just because things got really slow, like when gas prices fell. So I just stayed home and waited until it got to a point where there was a lot more work compared to, like, the slow times.
Yeah.
So it's kind of getting back there to where it was when I first started, like right after high school, but it took a while to get there again, right?
Right. So then, I just was very curious. Did you have, like, you must have dealt with, like, multiple types of insulation?
Yeah.
So what was the one you least liked working with?
Ooh. Well, I mean, there's like 3 major ones we use. Okay. It's called mineral wool, and I guess the 3 major ones are mineral wool, fiberglass, and then there's a stuff called calcium, like calcium silicate. Okay. It's kind of like, calcium silicate is white, and it's kind of like the inside of drywall.
Oh yeah, okay.
But it's a lot thicker and a lot more dense. Yep. And then fiberglass is it's exactly like the one, like wall insulation, except for formed to pipes. Okay. And then mineral wool is a mix between fiberglass and kind of another type of material. It's similar, but it's also different. Like, it's made with, like, lava rocks. Okay. Sort of thing. So it's probably the best one to work with would be mineral wool, and then the worst, like the dirtiest by far, would be calcium silicate. Okay. Because when you cut it, it just makes so much dust. Oh yeah. Okay. Just the way it's like drywall, right? So yeah. Anytime you use it, you have to use a saw to cut it, and then there's dust everywhere. Yeah. It takes way more time to use it. And, fair enough. Yeah. Okay. So then I would imagine you were masking up all the time and stuff like that, or probably, yeah. Probably should have, but I mean, I didn't really.
Fair enough.
It's one of those things, like, you should, obviously, like a lot of things, you should do stuff, but it's kind of frowned upon.
Fair enough. Yeah. So then were you working, like, long days out there?
Yeah, when I was first out there, lots of the jobs were like 12-hour days. Okay. But, well, my first job when I was out there was, we worked, normally it was 12 hours a day, and it was supposed to be, I think, 5 and 2, so you work 5 days in a row, like Monday to Friday, and you have the weekends off. But they were really pushing to get that job done, so sometimes you'd work like 19 or 20 days in a row, and then you'd have 2 days off, and you'd have to do it again. And we were fine with that, like, we were making a lot of money, so it didn't really matter to us. And a few of the days in there, we'd probably go up to like 14 or 16-hour days.
That's crazy.
So yeah, it was a lot of working, that's for sure.
Yeah, there's nothing worse. Like, I mean, I like, long days are awesome because you're making good money, but then it's like you get to the point where it's like 14, 16-hour days. You're getting tired, and you get to the point where it's like, I have less than like 8 hours till I'm back at work. Yeah. And I still have to eat and sleep and shower, and like there's so many things that you're just like, just losing time, like.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely. I mean, lots of the time, me and Ryan, we just went out for dinner.
Oh yeah, okay. So much
went
easier.
out for dinner. Yeah, and then you just went home and did your lunch or whatever, or you go somewhere at lunchtime. Like, we were working like South Edmonton at that time, so we pretty much drive McDonald's or wherever we wanted to go.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's all right. That doesn't make it too bad, but I mean, it sucks to get to spend so much money on like I guess eating out and like just so you can.
Yeah.
Just so you can survive, but
yeah, true.
I guess when you're making so much, you just barely notice it.
A little bit. I mean, we still stayed and made food, but sometimes it's just easier. Like on a 16-hour day, like you might as well just drive somewhere.
Oh yeah, like just go get a couple burgers and then go home, right? Like,
yeah, exactly. couple beers too to finish off the
There
day.
you go. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. So then, yeah, like, I'm glad you liked it, and you eventually, decided to come back, I guess, with work. Was it because work was slowing down?
Yeah, well, it's just because I was out in Grand Prairie, and there's so much back and forth between finding new jobs. Like when I moved to Grand Prairie last year, like last February, we got a job with a company, and they were supposed to have a year long job somewhere.
Yeah.
With potential for more.
Okay.
So to me, I was like, okay, well, this is like, you don't see it that much now.
For sure, right?
For a job somewhere, like guaranteed for a year. That's what they told me when I got it. But so I went there, moved there, and we started working. I think I was there for like a month and a half, and then the whole company got kicked off that job.
Really?
Because some people fucked some stuff up, and then it was just like, it was nothing that had to do with like me or the people we were working with. It was more the people in the office there.
Okay.
Yeah, so then we ended up working somewhere else for that company in Grand Prairie at a hospital. Like they're building a new hospital there, so I did a little bit of commercial insulating.
Okay.
And that was it was different and new, and I like that. Like I like learning new things
For sure,
trying
right?
new stuff, so that was pretty cool. But that company just wasn't a very good one, so I ended up quitting that and working somewhere else.
Fair enough.
And then yeah, I worked at the other company for pretty much the rest of the time that I was there until probably July.
Okay.
And then it was just that job ended, and they didn't have anything else for us, and me and Marissa were talking about figuring stuff out here, and just trying to sort out our stuff. So I decided that coming back here would be the best move at the time.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Actually, now that you mention it, the commercial and is it commercial, residential, and industrial? Okay,
yeah.
So what are like the main differences?
Well, I mean, I guess the biggest difference is between like residential and then commercial, just because they're like, in residential you pretty much just put rectangular insulation in the walls, where then when you go into like commercial and stuff, I don't think you really do too much of the wall stuff. I'm sure in some cases you do, but it's mostly like you insulate like the plumbing and the heating.
Oh, okay.
So like plumbing, it's pretty obvious, like copper pipes, a certain type of material, and then when you're doing the heating stuff, you use like sheets of insulation and you wrap it, but it's obviously rectangular or round in certain cases, just a little bit different. Like instead of pre-formed to a pipe, it's just a roll of insulation.
Cool.
But then industrial is mostly pipes, right?
Yeah.
So it's all pre-formed, and you pretty much just, well, you put it on, but you still need to know a little bit too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's exciting. So yeah, you came back, and then you got a job doing concrete, and then you're also working with your dad as well. But so like, what's it like doing concrete work?
It's different. It's dirtier in other ways than insulating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can agree with that. Probably get quite dirty with all the concrete mix and everything.
Yeah, exactly. I'm kind of starting at the bottom on that, but it's still not the worst.
Yeah, for sure.
thing. Like it's still a good job, and I learn a lot doing that too, right?
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
kind of a biggest thing. I don't want to commit to something when I don't really know what I want to do. Like I want to try more things before I sit down and pick something.
Yeah,
That's kind of what I'm after more than anything, just to learn and figure out what I really want to do.
Get your feet wet in a bunch of areas, and then be I mean, you're not only learning a bunch, you're getting all these skills. Like I mean, now you can insulate your own house. Now you can, you'll be able to like any kind of concrete work, you'll be able to do it on yourself, like for yourself, exactly. And like working with your dad, you're like a construction guru, like so like so I mean like you're gonna be able to do all these things, and when you finally like are like, you know what, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much what I'm after. I just want to try a bunch of stuff, and then I want to pick something and do it.
Okay. And at this point in time, is there something you're kind of leaning towards?
Like, I mean, I guess my future plans would be to hopefully start my own company doing some type of construction.
Okay.
I was thinking doing like a couple things together, like whether it be electrical or concrete, or like just two things. I don't really want to do one thing every day, like go and do the same thing every single day. I want to be able to mix it up. For sure. Like, I find my dad, since he's a contractor and does renovations, he does a lot of things himself. Yeah. And I don't really like that because he does too many things for himself. So I kind of want to find like a happy medium between not doing one thing and doing too much.
Yeah.
So just, I think I wanted, like, my goal would be to, like, make my...
yeah, like specialize in like two things.
Yeah,
and then
specialize in two things.
Yeah, and then that way, you're just like, yeah, we do construction, we do electrical. That's it. We don't touch anything else.
Yeah, exactly.
Or like, plumbing and electrical or whatever, right? Like,
or concrete and whatever. Just some things that's like, they're different, but just like two things. I want to do those two things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Like, do you find that, like, with the concrete work, do you find it very, like, hard on your body?
I thought it'd be a lot worse than it was. Like, in the summer it sucks. It was like...
yeah, 'cause it's like 1,000 degrees out, right?
1,000 degrees, and you have to, like, wheel the wheelbarrow really far, and, like, it is, like, labor intensive, but I thought it would be a lot worse than what it was.
Okay.
Like, it's... I mean, again, you learn skills or tricks on how to do things, and it makes it easier, like...
For sure.
I don't know, when I first started, I would have just thought you just wheel the wheelbarrow wherever, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But there's, like, pump trucks and stuff like that, and then there's line pumps, so there's a whole bunch of different ways, and, like, I would have thought that concrete trucks would get stuck easily, or that it's hard to get them places, but most of the time, like, you can make it pretty easy on yourself, so that you don't have to do as much, like, wheeling or as much hard labor, but there's still a lot to learn and a lot to know with concrete. Okay. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Is there something like that is there something you've seen that you want to learn in the concrete industry then? Like, that you've been, are you just like, you just haven't got around to, or?
Well, there's definitely lots of things I could learn. And I mean, I've been looking at a lot of stuff like that. But there's lots of different ways to finish concrete, and that's kind of what I don't really know yet. Like, there's exposed, and then there's stamping, and then there's broom finish, but there's also, like, different variations of those things. Yeah. So it'll probably just come in time. Like, I don't really know what my set plans is with concrete either. Like, it's one of those things, like, I'd like to try it, so I went and did it, right?
Yeah, for sure. So you'll probably, you'll just keep doing it until you're like, this is probably, like, good for you, and then... Yeah, and then find something else, or even keep doing it. Like, exactly. I don't really have, I don't have a set plan, like, this is what's going to happen. Right now I'm just trying stuff. For sure, and then going to figure it out, That's cool. Yeah. Okay. Well, this is the part of the show called the motivational moment. Yeah? Yeah, so, Kyle, how would you describe your passion in 5 words or less? Well, I described already over 5. I'd say it's challenging, it's entertaining, and I'm constantly learning. Okay. Yeah. I like it. You know what? It's good though. I mean, like, when you learn, you're growing, like, right? Like, you're becoming more skilled. I mean, like, I had this guy, my buddy Doug Dolan, come on the show a few episodes ago. Yeah. He reads a lot, so he's very knowledgeable in, like, everything to do with, like, the human journey. Like, he likes learning about just, like, work, because he's a personal trainer, so he learns about all that stuff, and it's just, you can tell, like, when he speaks very, like, intelligently, and it's like he's learning just like how you're learning all these skills. You'll be able to just kill. You'll be like, somebody will be like, yeah, I don't know. They'll be like, oh, I fucked up my concrete floor. And you're like, I got you. Yeah. You'll be like, oh, my house is so cold. Oh, now you can insulate the crap out of it, right? Like, you'll be able to do so many things, and it's just, you'll be a G. Right? Yeah, exactly. That's the plan. That's for sure. Yeah. So then, like, why did you choose those words? Well, I mean, my biggest passion right now is definitely cars, things like that. Yeah, so for sure. I picked those words because, I mean, they mean the most to me, right? Like, yeah, absolutely. Anytime I come to a problem, I try and, I don't know, break it down, learn. And, I mean, even if I make mistakes, you learn from it, right? Well, that's just it. I also enjoy challenges too, right? So, I mean, if it's not challenging, it's not worth your time. Yeah, exactly. Like, why are you so, I mean, it's always good when you make mistakes, because then you learn from the mistakes, right? That way, I never want, like, when people see mistakes as a bad thing. It's like, you fucked up. Like, there's definitely been days where I've been cutting a hole in the wall for a box at work, and then I accidentally go a little far. I'm like, oh boy. Like, that the cover plate's not going to cover that. It is what it is. Yeah. But now I got to realize that, like, now I know to not do that, right? Like, yeah, exactly. Where, like, I'm more aware, and, like, it's good to make mistakes. I think if you don't make mistakes, your life's too easy. Yeah, exactly. If you don't make mistakes, like, your biggest learning
comes from making mistakes.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
right? Like,
I don't know. We all do it, and it's all right. And
Exactly.
as long as you're learning from it, it's good.
Exactly.
Right? So
exactly. I think mistakes leave the biggest impressions, and you definitely remember them more so than like learning in like a class. Like for me, and I learn more from a mistake than learning in a classroom or like something like that,
true.
right? Or like someone telling me something, and then I mess something up. I'll remember that. Have a higher chance of remembering that than what they told me like a day ago.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's all right though. It's fucking perfectly fine.
Exactly.
It's a good way to learn anyway.
Totally is.
I'm definitely a hands-on person too.
Yeah, definitely. So you're a huge car guy.
Yeah.
So how did you get into cars? When did you get into cars? Was it like through your dad?
I don't know. It's hard to say. I would definitely say it's probably came from my dad, but I was going to Wellington for grade 8 and 9.
Yeah.
And then I heard about Dover having the automotive program. So then I did switch in grade 10, and that was the biggest reason why I went to Dover was for that. And I knew a lot of people from my elementary school and stuff there, and you guys already, so it was pretty easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So then, why did you want to go into the automotive, why did you want to learn about it?
I think I always went into automotive for the intent for it to be a hobby. So, like, it's not something I've ever really wanted. Like, I've never wanted that to be, a career of mine.
For sure.
It was, again, just something I was interested in, and I like hands-on, and I like cars. So, it's just one thing it was kind of a no-brainer for me to do that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool, okay.
Yeah.
And then, I remember going to your house in, grade 11 or 12, and then you were working on a car with your dad.
Yeah.
So what was that car? I can't remember.
I guess at that time I had 2 cars. I think it was the 1979 MGB, and then it was that one or a 1969 Sunbeam Alpine GT.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's either one of those cars.
Yeah, but so then you kind of just did a lot worked with your dad on these things.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
We worked together to restore the Sunbeam. It's almost ready, but it's been quite a project. It's almost there.
Well, your dad's got a lot going on. So between the house and the cars, this is never stops with that man.
Yeah, exactly. And even me, being away and stuff, it probably would be done right now, but gotta work and stuff right?
Make money, right? That's very important. That's cool. So then, with the cars, did you kind of now that you have these skills, you kind of just are you able to work on your car, kind of on anything, any problem?
Yeah, most basic things I would say I could figure out pretty easily.
Yeah.
But there's still lots that I've never dealt with.
For sure, right?
But that's also why I like it too.
Another challenge, right?
Something happens, I don't always know what it is, but then you gotta figure it out, diagnose it and fix it, and then research, all that stuff. You really are learning, and it's a challenge. My Sunbeam, it's been almost ready for 2 years.
Yeah.
But we keep having problems, and they're not things that I can deal with. But then, we've had help from journeyman mechanics, stuff like that. It's even tough for them to figure it out. So it's one of those things. Even qualified people have trouble sometimes too. For sure. So it's one of those things you got to figure it out, but you need help from everybody too, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, definitely. I did one of my first car things. I guess I kind of worked on it. Jack helped me, but I did up my own oil change.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I called you that day because we were gonna try and get a filter wrench, and then I've never. It's not that I don't want to work on my car. I've just never had the tools, and I've never I don't know what to do. So I've never. I don't want to just rip my car apart and then be I don't know how to put it back together.
Yeah, true.
And then I can't go to work. But it was once I realized what to do, it was it's a really basic and really easy. But I was but now I can do it, and it's just
yeah, exactly.
It feels good that I can change it.
Yeah, that's true. Well, a good space too is good, and old friends.
Oh yeah, get there. It was when you guys when I came home, you guys were working on the dirt bikes. You had the tunes going, you just bullshitting and just kind of giving her, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's a good part about cars too.
Yeah,
all that stuff.
Hanging
with the boys.
Exactly right. It's a good comfort.
Yeah.
It's when you have a homemade meal. You're just it's comforting.
Yeah. Well, it's nice when you have a stressful day at work too, and you can just go and do something that. You don't really have to get anything done.
No,
it doesn't really matter what you do. You just go and and do what you want to do. And if you don't get it done, it's no big deal. If you get it done, it's all right. And
yeah, I guess you just kind of just go at your own pace, and it's like usually it can kind of it's like for me when I go to the gym, like you go in like a little pissed off. You're like, oh, I had a crap day, and then you just come out and you're just like, I feel so much better. Like,
yeah, exactly.
I was able to calm down, and now I'm just like.
Get a good pump on.
Exactly. The dream, right? Yeah, so that's always cool. So then, do you have like a dream car that you've either wanted to own or wanted to like restore?
That's definitely a hard choice because just about every other day there's something else I want. Like going through Instagram, there's like, I would buy that right now. Or I'm looking on Facebook at like cheap cars and stuff, and it's like, I want to buy that so bad. But
if you had to pick three?
If I had to pick three, I think because I'm so close to my Sunbeam, I'd finish the Sunbeam, but I wouldn't keep it original. Okay. Like I would want to make it the way I want to, but keep the body of the car. Yeah. And that's also what I like too, more than anything, is I like the stock look of vehicles, but I'd like to one day be able to build it like exactly how I want it underneath. For sure. And that's like a goal of mine, I'd say too, is to be able to at least do that to one thing that I own, like one vehicle. But we'll see if that happens. Okay. So if I had to pick three, definitely be the Sunbeam. I'd probably buy an MGB again just because it's my first car. Your MG was awesome. Yeah. The third one's tough though. It's like there's so many cars. So many cars out there. It's ridiculous. Yeah. I'm trying to. It's hard to just pick one. It's easier to pick some I've owned. For sure. Yeah. Another thing I like, I'm kind of into Brit cars too, so I like the Land Rover Defenders. Okay. They're similar to Jeeps, but they shared the same parts for like 40 or 50 years. Yeah. So you can get one from like the 70s and put like 2,000 parts on it. Okay, that's awesome. So that's cool, but they're also really expensive too. So fair enough. That's awesome. I remember your MG. That thing was awesome. We ripped around in it a couple times. Exactly. Didn't it catch fire? Yeah, caught on fire when Marissa was in it. Yeah. Oh my gosh! Like that was ridiculous. I just remember you texting, "Hey man, the MG caught on fire." I'm like, wait, what? What? Like, what do you mean it caught on fire? You're like, yeah, I was driving and all of a sudden there's flames. I'm like, what? It was like the middle of summer, like fire season. I'm like, holy fuck, my car's gonna burn down the floor. No shit. Like, I am the reason why Nanaimo was gonna catch fire. Yeah, like, exactly. That was crazy. I remember that. I don't remember what I was doing or where I was. I just remember getting the text and I'm like, what? Like, just like, so like, don't even know where to go with this. I'm like, yeah. What the fuck? It was so awesome. Yeah, Marissa's. Well, we literally just left my house. Like, it was fine for like 2 years. Like, I drove for 2 years. Yeah. Like small problems, like stuff I could fix. And then we were leaving my house. I was taking Marissa home. It was like a nice summer day, like sun setting. We're like 2 blocks away from my house. And it was just getting dark, so I flicked the headlights on. And I usually flick them on a little bit early just because my car's already small. Yeah. So, flicked the headlights on. And then there was just fucking smoke coming up from the dash, like the thickest smoke you've ever seen. And I was like, oh my god. I just pulled off the road as fast as I could. I'm like, Marissa, get out of the car like right now. Like turned it off, pulled the e-brake up, and we waited until the smoke cleared, and then we had to push it back to my house. Oh my god. That's awesome. Yeah. Brutal, dude. That's a memory though. Like that's something you can treasure forever. I'll never forget that. Totally, man. I don't think I drove that car for like 3 months after that. But makes sense. One day I just got the balls. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna drive it. Fucking. It drove just fine. Except for I never tried to turn the headlights back on. Fair enough. Was like, I'm not touching those anymore, but it drove like no problem after that. It's like, but only one taillight worked, didn't have headlights. So a bunch of wires burned out. Like, yeah, exactly. It was hilarious, but that car was fun. That car was fun. It was cool. I remember driving it. I was like, yeah. It's just like parking lot of like Sears or whatever, but I was like, yeah. I remember we went drifting in it one time. Yeah, too, we spun overturned, and just did like a 180. We both looked at each other and started laughing. Yeah, kept going. Yeah.
I remember it was just on that road with the dealerships.
Yeah, exactly.
That was so awesome.
So good.
Oh man, the good times.
Definitely beat on that car. It's probably good that I sold it.
Probably.
I'll buy a nicer one.
Exactly. But I just wanted to thank you for coming on the show, Kyle. I appreciate it. Where can the people find you?
On Instagram?
Yeah, like all that kind of shit, yeah.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure most of them are just my name.
Kyle Balla.
Yeah.
I'll throw it under. I'll throw it under. That's cool. Yeah, you can catch me at Just Koryzma on just about everything, except for like Snapchat, BradenK007. If you like the episodes, hit that subscribe button. Check out the other stuff. Make sure you comment, like, share. Definitely want to get the word out because the show needs to grow.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.